This movie I wanted to share with you guys. This one is different. It kind of is a spin on the found footage, but not really. It's like a new take on it. It is called Late Night with the Devil. And it's simple and its premise, and even execution. But I really, really like what this movie did. And it took the horror genre, and it takes things that people are used to, and have kind of become cliche at this point, and it kind of gave a fresh spin on it. So the whole premise is you have this late night talk show host, who this takes place during 1976, by the way, so that's why that guy's all up in polyester and all that kind of stuff. Or sorry, 77. So he's in a time slot where he's trying to compete with Johnny Carson. And we all know Johnny Carson is known for being the king of late night television. It's Halloween, I guess it's sweeps week. So for those who are not aware, sweeps week is when they're taking the ratings for all the shows, seeing how many people are viewing it. And a lot of times that's kind of the make or break it for a lot of series. If they don't get good ratings, or at least satisfactory ratings, the show could be canceled. So he's using this opportunity. The sweeps week is during Halloween, and he's using it to try to boost his numbers to compete with, or perhaps even overtake Johnny Carson. And they do a lot of cool tricks. So it's you have the footage of it being filmed, because it's being filmed on the studio set. And that's another thing too that's really cool. This entire movie takes place on the sound stage for this supposed talk show. And so and then when commercial breaks happen and he goes off camera, to freshen up, get a drink or whatever, or talk about the next segment, then you have kind of like a camera that was following him around, kind of documenting everything, or you'll have just another camera backstage, and so that will be in black and white. And then when they get back from commercial break, it'll go back to the color footage. And I liked the references. It'll make a lot of references to the things that were popular during that time, like people doing magical tricks, parlor tricks, and stuff. There was this famous debunker called Amazing Randy. So they have a character that is similar to him, and he's a guest on there. So you have, they kind of have the lighthearted shtick. They have a guy that comes out that's supposed to, be a medium, so he could connect people with their deceased loved ones and whatnot. And then they have a paranormal expert who is coming out with a girl that I guess she has escaped this cult, and the cult was involved in a human sacrifice, ritual sacrifice, and everything. And it was really just horrible. And then you have the character that is supposed to be portraying the Amazing Randy, who is the debunker guy. And so all of it, of course, is kind of geared around the supernatural, because it's Halloween. During the show, the medium kind of goes on first, and it's kind of lighthearted and everything. And he ends up having an interaction with this mother and her daughter, and he says he's connecting to their deceased brother. Their brother had taken his own life, and it was really tragic. And then of course the debunker guy, he comes out and he's like, this is total bullcrap, I can show you how he did it. And pretty much just tears apart his whole shtick. But during the medium's performance, something happens to him, and he's kind of taken aback, and you don't know what it is. But as time, the other segments continue, and as time progresses, his health starts to deteriorate. He can't really swallow, he's coughing. So yeah, he's getting progressively more ill. So they get him water and everything. He's sitting there, and the debunker's just like, yeah, this is crap, I'll show you how I did it. And then all of a sudden he just starts spewing this black, disgusting substance out of his mouth. And again, the debunker's like, I can show you how he did that. Yeah, that's nothing, bunch of bull crap. And they end up taking the guy away to in a ambulance. They have the debunker talk a little bit about his what he does for a living and how he goes around, and he has this check. He's like, I'll give anyone $1 million, if you do something and I can't disprove it. Then they bring on the parapsychologist who is kind of taken in the girl, the only survivor of this cult, and she's kind of had to put her in therapy, and she's now the guardian over her, so she's like her mother, and has to take care of her. And so apparently she's been possessed. And the way that the parapsychologist tries to explain it is, well, she believes she's possessed, but science is still trying to catch up with how we explain such things. um might not necessarily be demons and things like that, but the girl believes it, and when she's channeling this demon, strange things happen. So of course the talk show host guy is like, hey, yeah, can you put her in one of the trance states? I'd love to communicate with the demon. And so they end up doing that. And that just kind of further opens up this really strange door. And then all these strange events start happening on set. And I don't want to give, very much away. And even with what I said, there's still a lot that goes on. But you start to question the motives of the talk show host, which seems kind of funny. But he just seems so earnest and genuine and compassionate when the movie begins. But then as the movie progresses, you start to see some of that mask kind of fade away. I was kind of able to put together some things before the movie concluded, and I'm sure the astute will be able to pick up on that as well. But this movie, it felt fresh. It's been a long time since I've seen a horror movie that really wasn't filled with those jump scares. This was more of just it's just creepy. It kind of irks you. The way that they did it just felt very fresh, unique, and a genre that for a while was kind of way overdone. The found footage stuff kind of had its time and place, but I never really liked how a lot of instances, where they had to go from location to location. It just seemed very artificial how they had to explain why the camera was following, why they kept recording. And I don't like the shakiness of the camera either. I'm really over shakiness in movies. And this one I would say is worth a watch. The whole movie, I was just kind of on my edge of the seat, thinking like, okay, what's going to happen? The ending's intense. I'm telling you guys. So I would give this one a recommend for sure. For me, it was an 8 because it felt fresh. I could see it being like a 7.5, but I was really pleased with it. I would watch it again, and that's kind of how I choose to rate everything. Is would I watch it again?